Hello, I'm Crimson Ace and this is the first video on my new Let's Play channel. So what better way to start this off by playing the first game I ever owned. At least I think it's the first game I ever owned. I can't remember so well. Anyway, I'm playing Donkey Kong Country, but not Donkey Kong Country for the Super Nintendo, but I'm playing the version for the Game Boy Advance, because that's the version I owned as a kid. Yes, I'm very young, but that doesn't have to matter. I played games from the 80s, I just didn't play them in the 80s. All games I will still play in the future, but for now let's focus on Donkey Kong Country. Because I'm not playing the game normally. Normally is for pussies. I'm playing what's essentially a hard mode. It's not called hard mode, it's called one player hero mode, but it's pretty much a hard mode. Because in normal playing mode you would play as both Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong, and if one of them were to get hit you switch to the other Kong. But not in this mode. In this mode there is no other Kong, there is just Diddy Kong in fancy yellow instead of red. So if I get hit in this mode I'll be sent back all the way to the beginning of the level, because this mode not only removes the other Kong, it also removes all the checkpoints in the level. But I'm not just doing a hard mode run, I'm gonna complete this game 101%, meaning I'm gonna find and complete, okay, I'm not gonna complete, I'm gonna find every single bonus room there is to find in this game, plus I'm gonna find every single Kong ladder in every single level. Something you don't have to do for the 100% run, but I felt like doing it anyway. And believe me, before the final world I'll have 99 lives, but Donkey Kong ain't one, because again, I'm not playing as Donkey Kong in a game called Donkey Kong Country. Seems legit. But enough about what I'm doing in the game. What is Diddy Kong doing in this game? Well, some fat ass crocodile stole his bananas. I don't know why, because last time I checked, which is never, crocodiles don't need bananas, but alright. So now we gotta chase the fucker down and jump on his head a few times, because this is a platformer after all. It's not a platformer without jumping on people's heads. Except those guys, you need to roll into those. Well, unless you're playing as Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong can kill some enemies by jumping on them that Diddy Kong can't, but Diddy Kong runs faster and jumps higher, so it evens out, I guess. And now we're riding our first animal buddy, and we found our first bonus room, but let's start by explaining the animal buddies. In some of the levels you might find a crate with an animal buddy in them, which differs from level to level. For example, this is Rambi the Rhino, and we ride him and then we can run into shit. If you get hit while riding an animal buddy, they'll run off left and right, and if you can catch up to them you can jump back on them and basically get infinite hits, because you yourself don't die while riding an animal buddy, unless you fall into a bottomless pit. Think of them as your Yoshi essentially, if you've ever played Mario World. And we just got a golden animal buddy statue. If you collect 3 of the same animal buddy statue, you'll be transported to a special stage where you'll play as the corresponding animal buddy, where you can collect all kinds of mini animal buddy statues that can get you all kinds of extra lives and goodies. Here's a small problem with the animal buddy special stages though, at least for me, because I'm playing one player hero mode. After finishing the animal buddy special stage, I really have to find a better name to refer to those. After you complete one of them, they'll transport you back to your last checkpoint. But because I'm playing one player hero mode, there are no checkpoints, so if I collect 3 of the same golden animal buddy statue, I'll have to do the entire level over again. So I'll be avoiding the golden animal buddy statues, but don't worry, there are plenty of other things that can get us extra lives in this game. Like all the various bonus rooms. The bonus rooms are your key to getting the 101% ending, even though the ending itself isn't really different. I'm still going for it because I'm kind of a completionist, not really. But the bonus rooms are, well, rooms, and they give you bonuses. They're often hidden in obviously breakable walls, like walls that have a slightly different color, which is supposed to indicate that you can break them with a barrel. And a bonus room barrel like we just jumped into. If you find every single bonus room a level has to offer, the title card of the level will have an exclamation mark after it on the overworld. So again, because I'll be getting a 101% ending, I'll get an exclamation mark on every single level, meaning I'm gonna find every single bonus room in every level. On hard mode. I am awesome. By the way, you don't have to complete every single bonus room, you just have to find and enter the bonus room in order to get the 101%, which is great for me because I'll be avoiding the or at least I'll be failing the special bonus room barrel stages, whatever, that give you golden animal body statues, because like I said, I don't want to. But now we're visiting Cranky Kong. In every area of the game you can visit a Cranky's cabin, where this old geezer will be waiting for you and give you useless tips you don't need. For example, did you know you have a start button you can use to pause the game? So yeah, he's irrelevant and you don't have to visit him and stay away from him because he's old and he smells funny. There is something interesting about Cranky Kong though, and that is Cranky Kong is the original 1982 Donkey Kong that threw barrels at Mario and kidnapped women for some reason. The reason I feel the need to stretch this is because people often mistake the Donkey Kong we have now for being the Donkey Kong we had back then, which is not true. I mean, I can understand that you think that, but the Donkey Kong we have now is actually the original Donkey Kong Jr. I can understand the mistake. In fact, the original plan for this game was to have normal Donkey Kong just be normal Donkey Kong and have Diddy Kong be Donkey Kong Jr. But Nintendo didn't really like the redesign Rare did to Diddy Kong, or when he was still Donkey Kong Jr., so they decided to make Diddy Kong a completely different character, calling him Diddy Kong, and make the normal Donkey Kong the original Donkey Kong Jr. So now you know, and don't you ever make that goddamn mistake ever again, because it really bugs me when people who should do their research say like, oh, Donkey Kong was the first video game character to go from a villain to a hero, because he never did. It's a different Donkey Kong and get it right. Sorry about that. Back to this game. You can collect bananas that when you get 100, they give you an extra life. They're like your coins. They're kind of irrelevant. At least I don't really pay attention to that, because this game gives you so many lives, like the Kong letters. Oh yeah, the Kong letters. Every single level has a K, an O, an N and a G in it. If you spell Kong in a level, you'll get an extra life, like we needed it in the first place, because this game already gives you so many. You don't have to collect every single Kong letter to get the 101% ending, but I will, because I'm awesome like that. I think we established that. Oh look! A water level! Everyone's favorite.
Now what?
Ignoring the pretty awesome music this level has, it's called Aquatic Ambience by the way, look it up right now, after watching this Let's Play. All the water levels are... they're not fun, because you have no way of attacking enemies, except with Unguard, or new animal body for the water levels. He can attack things with his giant nose. He's a swordfish, that's kind of their thing I guess. Not only that, but he vastly improves water control, because if anyone has ever played Mario 3, think of him as a better frog suit. With the normal water controls, you just sort of slowly sink when you're in the water and have to press the jump button to kind of shoot yourself up, and then you'll start sinking again. When you're riding on guard, you don't have to do this. You can just stay still in mid-water, if that's a term. So you don't have to worry about slowly sinking or running into stuff that's above you, because you only slightly press the jump button and you'll shoot or swim all over the place and too high and uncontrollably, and on guard, come back! My water control! It doesn't matter, we're at the end of the level anyway, so bye on guard, I guess. Hate water levels. But now we're getting to another overworld minigame. It's Funky's Fishing. You visit Funky Kong and you fish for him. Every world has a different fishing objective, and it's fishing. Oh well, you can just get more extra lives. Then again, I keep saying you don't need the extra lives, but a first time player is probably gonna need the extra lives, because Donkey Kong Country isn't an easy game and it's pretty heavy on the trial and error. I often hear people say that Donkey Kong Country is a pretty hard game, but I played it as a kid and grew up with it and I got used to it. So yeah, here's Funky's Fishing. We're supposed to catch redfish for him in this world. You can move the hook up and down with the, well, the up and down buttons. press A to pull back and actually catch the fish, and move left and right to move left and right. Though I'd recommend you stay close to Donkey Kong in this case. If you're playing as Donkey Kong, the roles would be switched. You would be fishing as Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong would be in the boat. But you have to make sure the fish land in Donkey Kong's boat so you can actually catch them, otherwise they'll just fall back into the water and disappear. You might notice we have a time limit that goes down when we catch blue fish. You can also see the game keeps track of how many fish you got, and we need 20 in this case, which we just got, so we already reached our goal, but we can catch more red fish for more extra lives. If you get a combo, meaning you catch 2 of the same fish at the same time, the exclamation mark will appear above the boat and he will follow you. If you don't get a combo, he'll just sort of float around and you have to stay close to him. But I don't want to talk about fishing, I want to talk about trivia and changes between the Game Boy Advance version and the Super Nintendo version, because the only reason this is here is to replace the original function Funky Kong had. Because in the original you would have to visit Cranky Kong if you wanted to go to another part of the island or another world, essentially. But in this remake we can just press the start button, select Call Funky to automatically do that, so we won't have to visit Funky Kong all the way to where he is. So they had to think of a different purpose to give him. The same deal is with Candy Kong, who we'll be visiting after this level, whose original purpose in the game was to allow you to save your game, but again, in this version we can just press start to save the game, so they give her a different purpose as well. Need to catch my breath for a second. I've never done this much talking in my life. Oh hey look, we're at a barrel shooting section. I don't know anything else to name this. All you need to do here is press the jump button at the right time, so the barrel will shoot you at the right time, and the right time is when it will shoot you directly into the next barrel, otherwise you'll fall down into bottomless pittiness. Again, because I've played this game so many times, I have the timing pretty much down to a T. I am a barrel shooting timing god. I understand their arcs, I know their physics and movements. I always land direct. Fuck this shit! Hold on. That was a bonus room. You're supposed to fill those, otherwise you'll be stuck in the bonus room forever. That was on purpose, believe me. There's one more thing I wanted to bring up about a certain control in this game before this video ends, and I won't have any more time to talk about it. If you do a cartwheel from a ledge onto or into midair, you can jump again and basically jump off of nothing and get a midair jump. This is, for one, it's pretty useful to get through some hard platforming sections, and it's also needed to get a few Kong ladders that are directly above bottomless pits, and you'll fall into the bottomless pits if you don't know about the cartwheel jump. Though you never really need it to beat the game, unlike Donkey Kong Country Returns, where you, well, do need it to beat the game, and I don't think the game really tells you about it, and the control for it is a lot more awkward because you have to shake the Wiimote like an idiot. And now we're at Candy Kong's Dance Studio. I already explained what her original purpose for the Super Nintendo version was, but her new purpose in this game is, well, you're about to find out. It's Dance Dance Revolution, except a lot more boring because you don't have to step on places and just press buttons in a certain rhythm. It's a rhythm game, and a pretty funky ass one. Especially the last one. Oh, the last one is so fast and hyperactive, your fingers go insane from playing it. By the way, this is the only video where I actually visit Cranky Kong, Funky Kong and Candy Kong, because there's no need to show those off multiple times. Just the first time, so you know what it is, and the other ones are pretty much the same, just Cranky Kong give you different hints, and well, the objective for the funky fishing is harder, and Candy Kong's Dance Studio is harder, and what? Sorry, rhythm games hypnotize me. I don't know what it is, but We're almost done with this world. The last thing we need to do is beat a generic giant beaver boss. I know it's the first boss, but this is just ridiculously easy. He jumps around very slowly and you just have to jump at his head a few times to get one of your giant bananas back. That somehow sounds like a dirty joke, but it's so easy. I mean, this is just stupidly easy, and look, he's dead already. That was pathetic. That didn't accomplish anything, and the banana fell right on his head. That's funny, and Cranky can't get out. Well, that's the end of the first world. Join me next time when we go to the second world, Monkey Mines. See you then.